Great. Now it's time to invite our next speaker, Ms. Simi Chaudhary. She is economic advisor and group coordinator at MEITY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. And she's also currently heading the technology development for Indian languages, which is the key organization in India for the language technology in India. She's also additionally a nodal officer for RTI, Right to Information, and the director for grievances in the ministry. She has been an Indian Economic Service professional and over 23 years of Government of India services so far. In education, she has degrees from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University, and Delhi School of Economics, and an MBA also from IGNOU. In MEITY, she has been very actively involved in the Digital India, the flagship program of the new government, and also the Digital Northeast. She has been involved in preparing key vision documents and strategies and action plans for the ministry. And in particular, I would like to mention the report on India's $1 trillion digital opportunity that she came up with. And as you know, the digital payments in India are now very importantly being done by almost all the population. And she was very instrumental, actually involved in creating documents, necessary documents and parameters for that. And as head of the technology development for Indian languages, she has been involved in natural language translation mission of the Government of India, which is now currently going on in full speed. And besides the MEITY, Ministry of Information Technology, she's also been helping other ministries, Ministry of Human Resource Development, where she helped in the Department of School Education Literacy, and also contributed immensely to right to education legislation, Education for All program, teacher education, elementary education policies, and National Adult Education Program, in particular, Sakshar Bharat. And in the Ministry of Labor and Employment, she was instrumental in international labor affairs, including ILO conventions and industrial policy matters. And as the head of the the technology development for Indian languages, currently she's managing, handling actually parallel projects, funded by PSA and also the Ministry of IT, and have been interacting with this group very closely. And we're trying to evolve a model where something like what ELRA does or LDC does, or maybe through a Section 8 company, that there should be a dedicated body to curate, create data, and be responsible for updating the data, maintaining the data, and for distribution of the data to these stakeholders. And that is what is very important, as highlighted by all the speakers. And so I now invite Ms. Simi Chaudhary for her talk. Simi Chaudhary, please. You can unmute yourself because you're a co-host. You can unmute yourself, Chaudhary. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Dr. Jhab. Namaste and good afternoon to all joining here today. It gives me great pleasure to be a part of today's interface between the academia and industry and of the government, of course, for Indian language technology. The subject being discussed today is of critical importance and reflects the need of the hour, as the language barrier is extremely essential to be overcome to ensure digital inclusion in true sense. The TDIL program of the Government of India focuses on development of technologies, resources, and standards for Indian languages with the overall vision of ensuring inclusion of all citizens of the country and the society at large in the digital space. In the Digital India program, there is a weaving together of a large number of ideas and thoughts into a common thread of digital inclusion to transform India into a knowledge-based economy and a digitally empowered society. Inclusion, of course, has been the core of the Digital India program of the government, empowering citizens with the use of technology that is transformative, affordable, and sustainable. The Digital India program, as we all are aware, was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister of India on 1st July 2015. This month, therefore, we are celebrating the 5th anniversary of the Digital India program. The Digital India, so to say, is now resonating with the masses. Our daily average electronic transactions have increased from 66 lakh in 2014 to 16.3 crore in 2020. A total of 3,858 e-services have been enabled till May this year. Spread across the country, 3.7 lakh common services centers are bridging the digital divide by providing around 360 e-services in rural areas, as also creating entrepreneurial and employment opportunities for almost 12 lakh people with focus on women and youth. The digital payment usage has witnessed unprecedented growth. Transactions on the UPI platform have grown exponentially in the past couple of years. The monthly volume of payment transactions is 133 crore in June 2020 alone. Around 262 BPO units are functional across 123 locations in 22 states and union territories of the country, thus facilitating a balanced regional growth and creating job opportunities even in the small towns. India has also witnessed a rapid rise in the tech startups, adding over 1,300 tech startups in 2019 itself, of which 8 have turned unicorns. Emerging and nascent startups are experiencing growth at a CAGR of over 40%. The national policy on software products that has been brought out by the government in 2019 envisions developing India as a software product nation. The mobile and mobile manufacturing companies have been increasing from 2 units in 2014 to 256 units, and India has emerged as the second largest mobile manufacturing nation in the world. Towards this direction, the national policy on electronics brought out by the government in 2019 aims at positioning India as a global hub for electronic system design and manufacturing by encouraging and driving capabilities in the country for developing core components, including chipsets, and creating an enabling environment for the industry to compete globally. The story of India's digital transformation finds global resonance today. India is today in a sharply accelerating lift-off phase of its digital journey. Having built a strong digital foundation and expanded digital access, India is now poised for the next phase of growth creation, of tremendous economic value and empowering of citizens by leveraging our strengths to attain the aspirations of billions to build a self-reliant, strong, secure, and sustainable India. India's digital adoption is on a growth trajectory too. Our 67 billion diverse internet subscribers accessing digital media and content, mostly in English today, this presents a huge opportunity as well as a challenge. Therefore, there is a need for a tectonic shift in our strategy to make the content of internet available in Indian languages. Our efforts over the last 20 years through TDIL in language technology areas like information processing, OCR, speech technologies like ASR and TTS systems, and machine translation systems with active participation of academia, R&D institutions, the industry, all this has created a pathway to meet the opportunities. India, as we all know, is a land of linguistic diversity. but the majority of its citizens use their native languages in their everyday lives too. So we envision to make this tremendous wealth of resources and knowledge available in major Indian languages. Towards this end, the Natural Language Technology Mission of the Government of India aims to overcome the language barrier by harnessing the natural language technologies and emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, so that billions of aspirations meet the opportunities. And the effort is to inculcate an environment where it feels like a Bahubhashiya sitting next to every Indian, helping them to understand any resource material in their own language. Under this mission, it is envisaged to build a machine translation system which can be used to translate text and speech content from one language to another with minimal human involvement. The aim is to build speech-to-speech translation platform for Indian languages. To achieve this, the required technologies like ASR, MT, TTS, along with data, will be developed. Neural machine translation has become the dominating and effective technology today. However, neural machine translation is also a data-hungry process, and Indian languages presently do not have the required parallel data of that order, and it is very expensive to build training data of that size as well. Therefore, a distributed approach, along with the participation of startups, of the academia, of the industry, is required to build that resource of data. Accordingly, under this mission of the government, we also aim to create and nurture an ecosystem involving startups, industry, academia, central government, the state governments, all together to develop and deploy innovative solutions in Indian languages and to stimulate massive public participation. The National Platform for Language Technology is one of the high impact programs to stimulate the growth of startups in the language technology space, not only to make the resources that are created under R&D program of the government available to the industry, but also to act as a marketplace for development of language technology solutions and services. Today, I would like to emphasize that by growing our capacity in technologies that are digital and by applying them across sectors, including the language translation technologies, India is moving fast along the evolutionary path of a digital economy, wherein we will drive sustainable growth through use of technology, digital technology especially, and continuous innovation. This is the need of the hour, and I call upon all stakeholders of the ecosystem to join hands with the government towards realizing the vision of Digital India and towards creation of a digital ecosystem that provides fair and equitable opportunities to every citizen and ensures their inclusion in the mainstream. On our pathway to growth and expansion, we have to work as Team India with close involvement and participation of all stakeholders and the citizens at large so that our concerted efforts may lead India to realize its trillion-dollar digital economy opportunity by 2025, to establish India as Digital Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat, without any language barriers, and thus ensuring digital inclusion of all in a true sense. Today, I heard Google and ELRA highlighting their achievements made in this domain. I look forward, as part of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, to working more closely with them, to learn from their experiences, and to draw upon their rich expertise in the domain of language technology in our endeavor towards breaking the language barrier across the Indian languages. I would like to thank the Jawaharlal Nehru University, the Vice Chancellor, and Professor Jha for organizing this very interesting interface and the very needed interface, in fact, between the academia, industry, and the government in working towards breaking the language barrier for Indian languages. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for a very elaborate presentation of the activities of Government of India and the policies and the procedures in place and the work that you're doing under Digital India program of Government of India. And as you know, we need a robust model in India because we have uh, unparalleled diversity of Indian languages. We have 22 national languages, hundreds of 1,761 languages actually, to be precise, and each one of them might be very, very diverse and changing because of the English language being a major factor in the mixing or English as we call it. So we need a robust model. And you talked about evolving ecosystems with the startups and academic institutions and the other companies in India. And I'm sure the government is very actively involved in creating such ecosystem in India. And one advantage of being in Delhi, like Jane, in Delhi, is that we can run over to you. There is any issue, or we can certainly discuss and discuss and evolving this major ecosystem that we need in India. And with the model that we have, ELRA was presented by Khalid, and LDC is again a very pertinent model. And these multinationals, Google and Microsoft, are very actively involved. We have Samsung. So I think there's a need to have a discussion under one roof, and therefore I started this series. And the details which emerge from these meetings will be certainly good to compile and to present to the Government of India. Thank you so much once again, ma'am.